Hey guys, just wanted to share a quick little tip on how you can easily share MIDI files. Now the short version is you can just click and drag them into Facebook Messenger. They upload really easily, really quickly, and then your friend can download them and work on whatever it is you have for them. But I want to show you how to best prepare them for that process. So let's go ahead and dive in. I've got an example here. You can see I've got a few MIDI tracks. Now I usually use this method for drum programming. What I'll do is I'm working with a friend on my songs, and so I'll program kind of a basic drum arrangement, and then I'll send that to him through Facebook so that he can work on it and kind of polish it up a little bit while I'm working on guitars and vocals and other things. Then he'll send it back to me so I can do the final touches for the final arrangement. So I'm going to show you how we do that. So I've got some programmed drums here. Now typically what we'll do is we'll just have a hi-hat count at the beginning just to give us some time before we start recording, and it helps everything line up. When he drags it into his project, we want it to line up with all the other tracks as well. So we've got the hi-hat intro. What we're going to do is if you click on the drum channel, it'll highlight all of these MIDI tracks here, and then you just right click them and you're going to select merge. Now I've used this recently, that's why merge is showing right here, but you go down to bounce and merge and you can find it right there. So we click merge and bam, we've got this single MIDI track. You might want to check it just because sometimes if you've got any cuts in there, it might merge most of it, but then you miss the other half. But there we go, we've got the entire drum arrangement merged into one file. So once again, we're just going to right click that and we're going to select export as MIDI file. Now again, I just used it recently, so you come down here to export and there it is right there, export as MIDI file. So yeah, then you just title it whatever you want, and then we'll save it, and that's it. Okay, so I'm logged into Facebook, so all I do is I start a new message and I'll go to my music. Here's the MIDI file. You just simply click that, drag that into the message window, and it's upload, and there you go, it uploads and you just send it, and it's as simple as that. Then they can download it, and so this would appear in my download files, but they'll get the same MIDI file and they can simply click it, drag it into their project, and look at that, it lines up perfectly. So now whoever you're sending it to, they can work on it and then send it back to you the same way. Now this method will work if you're doing different DAWs and stuff. You might need to work out some technical details. Like if you're doing drum programming, my friend uses a different DAW than me, so we had to create a custom drum set in his DAW that uses the same MIDI notes that my drum set does. So we want to make sure the snare is on the same note and that the hi-hat's on the same note and the kick and all that stuff. So just make sure you work out those details. But this same method can be used with any instrument if you're sending like a MIDI vocal track. So I'll usually write like a piano melody for the vocal track. You can see it doesn't take up the whole the timeline like the other instruments do. So what we can do here, we want it to line up, so we want to make an event at the beginning here. And I'm just going to delete all these notes except the first one. If you don't have a note here, it's going to export it from where the first note starts. So that's why it's really important that you have a note starting at the very beginning of the timeline. But as you can see, there's this huge gap here, but once we select the whole track and merge it together, it'll fill in that space. And then the process is the same. You just go about exporting it and you can send that away. So whether you're doing like synthy instruments or piano, just any kind of MIDI instruments, you can use this method. And it's just a really simple way. You can probably use email also, but those who are on Facebook, that's kind of an easy way to share MIDI files. But anyway, I hope that was helpful to you. That's just something that I use a lot, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. But yeah, until next time.